Hello everyone and welcome back. Is Mullen Automotive about to debut one of the fastest cars in the world in less than 2 months? Let's talk about ticker symbol MULN. My name's Randy. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get straight into it. I've got a lot pulled up for you and I think you're going to like what I have. Mullen reveals specifications of the Mullen 5 RS. Now if you see this image here, it's not the actual vehicle obviously, and they have not showed us what this vehicle is going to look like, but they did tell us that this will be made of carbon ceramic composite, which is going to allow it to have these specifications below: 200 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. This is the Mullen 5 RS. Strikingly different US test drive tour in spring of 2023. That's 20 cities. 5 RS aims to be the fastest vehicle on the planet, competing with some of the best, most well-known and regarded automotive marquees that are out there on the market right now. Now, consumers will not be allowed to test drive the vehicle directly at this stage. They will be alongside a professional IndyCar race driver. Now, you can book that reservation by clicking on the link here. And when you do that, it asks for a $100 refundable deposit by credit card. So be part of the tour. If you'd like to see this vehicle, that's one way to do it. So David's been talking about the RS since the LA Auto Show back in 2001. You can find that information here at the 6-minute mark on their website under the Mullen 5. He also does an introduction to Andreas Thurner with Thurner Designs, who was responsible for the design of the Mullen 5. Very good video to watch for those of you that haven't seen it. Now, will this be one of the fastest electric cars in the world? Can it line up with Tesla Model S Plaid for a 1.9 second, 200 miles per hour? That's what we're looking at. If that gets proven in October, November timeframe, this could be a major catalyst for the stock. So there's 2 weeks left on this exclusive offer. Get up to 12 free stocks when you open and fund an account. If you'd like to take advantage of this, this is of no cost to you. Plus, I'm going to give you 5 free trades that are going to help you grow this account so you can use none of your money. Basically, I mean, you have to deposit some amount, so $1, but there's a 2-step process. Open the account, fund it, then let me know in the comments below that you've done this, and I'm going to give you 5 free trades that are going to help you grow this account. All right, let's talk about vans for just a moment, because we really need to talk about this, and I know it's not that sexy. It's not as sexy as the Mullen variations that they're coming out with and the Tour, but we've got to look at some data points for van sales. Q1 of 2021 versus Q1 of 2022, we've got a significant decline in all of these models across the board, according to this article. Now, we do have key partnerships with Mercedes-Benz partnering with Rivian, and now we have a partnership of Bollinger Motors with Mullen Automotive. Can this strengthen their partnership and allow them to do these kits better, this retrofitting, this packaging, to take care of the customer's expectations with the assemblies and modifications for the Fortune 500 company that hasn't been identified for the vans down in Louisiana, supposedly a telecommunications company, and with this signed agreement, this binding agreement with Delpac Logistics. So it's really important that they come through and generate that revenue, and it looks like that's what they plan on doing with combining their existing Class 1 and Class 2 e-cargo van programs to give them a chance to dominate the entire Class 1 through 6 commercial light and medium duty truck segments. Now up here it says Class 3 through 8 medium duty truck production in 2023. So I think if these two companies can combine their synergies to really make sure that this cargo van program gets prioritized and they get some revenue generation into the company. Revenue generation for the company is absolutely going to be a catalyst for the stock. As far as prioritizing the B1 and B2 customer truck programs, this 50,000 reservations, I believe some people are saying, I'm not so sure about what's happening with this, and we are going to have to keep a close eye on this. Now, Roush Industries is something I talked about in the previous video, that we want to keep a pulse on what's happening with them as far as the assembly of pre-production units, the performing validation testing, and then the ramp up to production. So there's a process here that they're going to have to complete, and this was reported back in May 9th, so they still need to do this. We're looking for updates there. Now, as far as the B1 and B2 reservations, according to the question and answer portion on their website, were postponing the B1, B2 development, and they started giving people refunds, Venmo, paper checks in the mail, according to the Q&A section on Bollinger Motors' website. Now they're supposed to refocus and put these back into production, but is now the time? Is now the time to focus on the vans? And if you go to their career page, they are focused on engineering assets as far as hiring. They haven't moved into production yet, so it's going to be really important that this company starts generating some revenue so we can not only see a revenue stream for the vans, we can see a revenue stream for that 60% equity stake that they took out in Bollinger Motors. All right, let's take a look at some of the Mullen SEC filings. I've got those pulled up. The NASDAQ compliance rule, and when this gets issued, of course, on September 7th, they were given the notification. So this was last week. This is causing a lot of that downward pressure on the price, the expectation from analysts and investors that they were going to get this 180-day calendar notice and that they would have until March 6th of 2023. Now, can they get back within compliance, or is this headed for a reverse stock split? There is going to be that conversation. You should expect to hear it. Plus, you should also understand that this is going to have difficulty getting past 80 cents and getting over that $1 mark. So just know that with the shareholder dilution, because of the number of shares that not only are they allowing to be issued out, but that are part of the equity incentive program, not only that, but the cash and shares that were issued as the company's common stock for the deal that materialized on September 7th as part of that closing date with Bollinger Motors. You can see 544,347 shares of common stock for Bollinger Motors. And then down here, the company acquired 282,825 shares of common stock of Bollinger Motors directly from Bollinger Motors as a new issuance, and they purchased 261,522 shares of common stock of Bollinger Motors. So, I mean, just additional equity stake involvement. If Mullen fails, Bollinger Motor fails, there's an escrow account with funds that will be distributed out to Bollinger Motors, and that can't happen if Mullinger fails. So just keep those all on your watch list and know that analysts, even if there's just one on Yahoo Finance, have an expectation that each quarter there will be at least $37 million in sales with these vans. So we want to see some revenue generated, or that could be a negative, big disappointment to the share price. Now, you can see that we have under 100 million shares traded the last 3 trading days. So we want to make sure that that also stays elevated. And you can see that this has been down in that 52 cent range. So make sure that you're not buying any higher than what you have. I would say that this is a no-brainer buy at 52 cents and below. But let's take a look at these CPI numbers. Just understand that we don't have to rush or have FOMO in getting into this, and that's why you're not seeing people pile in to the stock, because people are keeping their money on the sidelines and they're getting out as this bumps up, because we had an 8.3 for all items on CPI, and all items less than food and energy was 6.3. The expectation by analysts here was 8. It came out at 8.3. Last month it was 8.5. Everybody knows about CPI, but if you don't, this was supposed to be 6%, and this is up from analyst expectations of 5.9% or 6%, but it's up at 6.3%. So now people are rightly asking the question, is the Fed's tools actually working to bring down inflation? 8.5 to 8.3, I meant not much of a movement. It was a slight movement. So are these factors bigger than the Fed's interest rate hikes? And will his interest rate hikes, which are almost certainly baked in, most people are saying the 75 basis points rate hike is sure to come, will there be an unusually high rate hike that will actually cause the markets to turn, cause a real imbalance of the markets that makes it very difficult to come back from? And that's why people are starting to talk about deflation. All right, let's take a look at the charts. Back here on the 7th, this is when all of the news actually officially came out. We may not have seen some of it, but we did see a run up on the 8th in that price. It went all the way up here to about 78, where you see it peaked on the RSI just like it did here, and it came crashing down. I mean, it didn't find support until 60, and this was a huge drop from here to here, all the way from almost 80 cents down to 60. I mean, that's a 20-cent drop in just one day. And then it came up here. It's always easier for these things to fall than go up unless there's some major catalyst that is causing it to go up. Now, 64 cents, it got rejected right about here, 64. Didn't make it over the 20 on the EMA. You can see it's the white color. And then the next mark was 52 cents on the 52-week low. You can see down here on the RSI, it was oversold. That was a clear signal that you were okay to enter in. Matter of fact, that third 30-minute candle, about what was it, third 30-minute candle, it did not close. You had to tell that closed down here in the 52 area, and then it started finding support. People started buying in down here at about 52.94, and then the following day it found some support, got rejected as it started across that 20-day, but did not make it quite to the 50-day moving average. And then we started to see this downtrend where it actually broke through briefly because the market has just sucked ever since those CPI numbers came out. And then today we had news that came out that was recirculating. I say recirculating, but we did get an image of that carbon ceramic composite image of the vehicle that probably got some people excited. People were like, look, this went over the 100-day moving average. I'm going to take some profits because I believe there might be an opportunity to come in a little lower than 52. There may be a 6 to 8% drop, especially with the Fed coming out, might be more hawkish. That's what I think was happening. And of course, it's touching the RSI. There's some day traders out there. This was a new low. This was actually lower. If we put that in, you can see this is actually lower right here than that previous mark. So we want to see higher highs and not lower lows. All right, so final thoughts. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments below. What are the next steps? Will we get any news about the Vans either deal with the Fortune 500 company, that telecommunications company? Will we hear something about that? Because in August, we were supposed to get some kind of update. Now it's September. So is this the month that we hear something? So is it a risk to really exit your position if you worked hard to get in a position here at 52 cents? Because some people might be like, the Fed is about to talk. He's going to come out extremely hawkish. He could have an unusually high rate hike, and we see further pressure in the market. And we're reaching lower lows and not higher highs. But is this the lowest price point for Mullen? Of course, I want to help you get there. But that's all I've got for this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this kind of content. Give the video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.